welcome everybody. Welcome back to Homestead Heart. And in today's video, y'all listen, I decided to go ahead on and do this video because I'm just ready to take this out of my refrigerator and get rid of it. Now listen, you all, you know, we've been doing a lot of talking about food, a lot of talking about our concerns about food with all of the different outbreaks, whether it be Listeria or E. coli, and doing our best to buy foods that are good and healthy for us. So I decided to take you all along with me because I was asked the question by a family member, does it really make a difference? And the best way I tried to explain it was, it's like going to a fast food restaurant. I'm not gonna say which one, but y'all know who I'm talking about when I say this. It's like going to this fast food restaurant and buying an order of their French fries and just leaving it in a bag in the back seat of your vehicle or on the floor of your vehicle or anywhere. Just leave it there for a month. Go in the house and get yourself some real potatoes and cook some French fries and put them in a bag and leave them in the same place for a month if you can. It's like, what do you think you're going to see when you come back to those two items? Okay, that was the best way or the best analogy I could give in that moment. But I decided to say, okay, let's see if it'll make a difference. So what I did was I bought this apple right here. Now the picture that I took of this apple, I took that picture about a month or so ago. Yeah, probably been about a month and a half ago or so I took that picture. But since then, this apple has been taken out of my refrigerator, dropped on the floor, thrown in the trash. I had to go back and get it out the trash and rinse it off because I'm like, no, don't throw it away. I got it in there for a reason, right? But anyway, this is that same apple, okay? Yeah, it's not soft. I'm squeezing it, okay? It's not squishy. None of that, okay? It's not squishy. See? Not squishy. So, are we eating forbidden fruit? Well, what makes it forbidden in the first place? What makes it forbidden, right? And in my opinion, what makes it forbidden is if it's something unnatural that we're putting inside of the house that God made, which was intended to receive things naturally, right? So we're putting unnatural things in our bodies and we're wondering, does it make a difference? Now, you all, this apple right here, this very apple, has been sitting in my refrigerator since around the 10th of June. We're almost in November. In just a couple of weeks, this apple, not soft, not squishy, listen, not soft, not squishy, this apple will be 5 months old in just a couple of weeks. 5 months old. And I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and share this with folks in light of everything that we're experiencing with the food crisis. So I could go ahead and throw this thing out of my house, get this out of my refrigerator, right? You could see some dark spots, but the dark spots right here, I'm squeezing this I'm squeezing this. It's still firm. You see some dark spots, but it's still very firm. This apple is almost 5 months old. To the bottom. So are we eating forbidden fruit? And if this fruit that we purchase from the store is in any way, shape, form, or fashion genetically modified, then yes, we are eating forbidden fruit. The code on it lets you know that it was not grown organically, right? 4020. The code lets you know that it was not grown organically. But that's not even enough anymore. Because whether it was grown organically or not, would they even attempt to grow a genetically modified organic apple? Or an organic genetically modified apple is genetically modified, but I'm not going to spray anything on it. I'm going to grow it organically. I'm going to use organic fertilizers and pesticides. I'm going to grow it organically. But does that make the apple organic if they grow it organically, even though it could be a genetically modified organism? Does those two things even go together? So yes, it got me to thinking about forbidden fruit. And this is possibly one of them. I could drop this. Nothing. Nothing. It should have bust open being 5 months old. It should have went everywhere. It should have splashed everywhere being 5 months old. But it's still firm. So now you all, the best that we can do is to try to grow. I wish I had my knife. I would cut this open. The best that, I'm going to get me a knife. The best that we can do is to try to get our foods as organically as possible, which is why you all, I'm always again referring you all when it comes to, well, where do we buy our food? Where can we get it from? Like a video that I did recently when I shared with you all AZURE Standard and why I choose them, right? And they do sponsor our videos, and I'm glad to have a sponsorship from AZURE Standard because I use them, right? But, and I'm going to leave their information in the description box below. But if you wanted to get a case of apples that were grown organically, you can do that from AZURE, which is what I'm about to do, which is why I'm talking to you all. Because I do have apple trees, but they're not ready to start producing apples yet, right? I have fruit trees. Some of them are producing. I do have lemons out there growing right now. My finger lime isn't ready. My avocados are not ready to produce. They're brand new, right? I do have persimmon trees that I'll be harvesting from soon. And many of you have probably seen us harvest our persimmons, and we've never sprayed anything on our trees. We've never sprayed anything on them for the simple fact that we don't need to. We don't want to. We try to keep the trees as healthy as possible, and in so doing, we don't have to spray harsh chemicals on our trees. And if we should happen to lose one to something, well, there's nothing we can do about that. That's why we have more than one. That's why we have more than one of a particular variety of tree, because we understand that things could happen. It's like when you're growing tomatoes. You're not just, typically, if you're trying to harvest tomatoes in order to get a good harvest, you're not just going to plant one plant and hope that that one plant does it for you. You're going to plant multiples, right? So you all, until my apples start producing, I'm about to order me a nice big case of organic apples from AZURE Standard so that I can get my applesauce and all of that made. And I definitely want, I'm not going to do any apple pie filling right now because I just did the salted caramel peach cobbler recipe with my organic peaches. So I just did the salted caramel peach cobbler. If you haven't seen that recipe, y'all, I'm gonna post it at the end of this one. If I tell you that is an absolute hit in our home, salted caramel peach cobbler, you don't find it everywhere. In fact, a lot of people ain't never heard of making salted caramel peach cobbler, right? But oh my goodness, is it good. So I'm going to be getting me some apples in, and I'm not going to do an apple pie filling, but I am going to do an apple sauce, and I'm going to do a few other recipes with some apples, and not to mention just canning apples just in a really light simple syrup. That's it. You know, a really light syrup, not too sweet, but just a little bit of sugar. That's it. Right? So I'll be doing a few recipes, and I am going to take you all along with me when I do my apple sauce, when I do whatever other recipe I'm going to be doing with my apples, y'all. I'm going to be taking y'all along with me when I do that. Okay? So y'all, again, I'm going to post the link to AZURE Standard in the description box below. Y'all use our code, and if you're new to AZURE, you will be saving a little bit of money. And it does help our channel. They sponsor our channel. So anytime you use our code to purchase from AZURE Standard, it does help our channel as well. And we get to keep sharing AZURE with you all on a regular basis, trying to just get the word out there so that everybody who has never tried to use AZURE before in the past, who've never used them before, hopefully you will use our code and just kind of go onto their website and have a look around so that you can see that, yeah, they really do have some good products. Okay, and like I said, I'm about to get me a nice order of apples in because I do want to get a lot of apples this time. Last year I didn't do a lot of apples. I only did a small amount, but I need a lot of apples now. So I'm going to post that information in the description box below. I'm going to go and grab a knife, you all, and come back and cut this apple because I want to see what it looks like on the inside being a 5-month-old apple. Okay? All right. All right, I have the knife and I have the apple here, and I'm just going to, it's the same apple, you can see. Okay? And I'm just going to cut this apple open. I want to see what it looks like on the inside. I hope it's got some brown somewhere. Y'all, look at that. You have got to be kidding me. Look at that. This apple is 5 months old. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? No. Look at that. What y'all think about that? Are we eating the forbidden fruit? What y'all think about that? Y'all check out the description box below. I'm throwing this away. Y'all check out the description box below. And if you are in a drop location, order your organic produce from AZURE Standard, you all. And also, if you're not in a drop location, they don't have a drop near you, maybe you can start a drop near you. Maybe you can be the person in charge of the drop location near you so that others in your area will also benefit from AZURE, and you and others could team up and be coordinators. I know some places that have more than one coordinator. I think they partner up and they take turns or something like that between 2 or 3 people, so that it's not one person responsible for it every single month. They team up and, you know, they work together to bring the drop to a location nearest them, you all. Okay, so that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you found this information helpful. If you like the video, like it, share the video on your social media platforms as well. No matter where your social media is, please share the information. Somebody asked me the other day if I was on TikTok. I am not on TikTok. Okay, I post sometimes on Facebook, I post sometimes on Instagram, but no, I'm not on TikTok. Okay, all right, you all, that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching Homestead Heart. I will also have a link to Azure Standard right at the end of this video. It'll be either in this bottom corner or this bottom corner, but if you're on a mobile device, you'll be able to click the link and it'll take you directly to Azure so you can look around. All right, you all? So thank you for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and I will see y'all in the next video. And we got to stop eating this forbidden fruit. I'm grossed out.